Hello again. In this video we will be looking at the temporary order declaration template that we provide to you as a template for drafting your declaration. And we have slight differences between the one that is meant for if you're drafting a declaration to support your motions for temporary orders or in response to somebody else's motion for temporary orders, but they're largely similar. So the first thing is you'll log into the SharePoint, and of course your name will be here instead of sample client file. You'll navigate to the pleading section and then to the drafts subfolder. And in the drafts subfolder you'll find what is called a TO, or temporary order declaration template. And this will be the basis upon which you will start drafting your own declaration. So we're going to explore this template. So we left click on that. And again, if you want to edit the document, you have to click here. I'm going to head and edit in the browser. It's going to convert it so that it will work, and then I have to click edit to make sure that I can edit here. It's going to refresh the page, and now once this stops graying out, it will allow me to edit. I would recommend that you come up here to view and click on navigation pane, because the structure or outline of the document is shown here. And you can also use find and replace. So if you wanted to look for a particular word, you could use that. I'm going to leave it on the headings for now. So here we put what your name would be. You insert that and whether you're the petitioner or respondent in the action, and that would be determined by the caption. And you're going to make this declaration in support of your motions for temporary orders, and this would be the date and the date that the case is going to be set on for hearing. If you don't know these things, then just leave the hashtags empty and we will fill them in. This next sentence basically just tells the court, watch out for these topic areas because my case involves some significant features. You'll actually come back and write this section last after you've written everything else. The next part is essentially what's called a roadmap paragraph, telling the court what you're going to cover. And you're going to cover two primary topics. One is the background, and the second being your proposals regarding the topics. So first, background information. You introduce who are the people: wife, husband, father, mother, children, any significant relatives, friends, etc. Who are the people? And then you turn to giving a history of the relationship, or the basic history. Second, you're going to treat each major topic area: parenting plan, child support, property and debt, restraining orders, attorney's fees, who gets to stay in the family home, issues like that that are topical. So those are the two things that the court can be looking for. The first part, the background, you're naming the people. So you want to name everybody, give them whatever name they're going to use. Their first name probably would be the best, but name them as you describe them in the format that's here. That makes them easy to then talk about later by just using Dan, Sally, etc. In the basic history section, you generally are going to be using the format of starting with when did something occur, and then if you need to, where was it, and who was involved, and then what happened. But start with on or about, and then describe what happened on that date. That allows you to then, and allows the court to quickly and clearly see in chronological order significant events that have occurred. I would recommend that you sort of brainstorm significant events and then reorganize them into the chronological order. As you turn to the next section talking about the topics, you'll probably remember additional things that you might want to add to your chronology, and we'll help you with all of this. The second step, or the second section I should say, your proposals. What do you want the court to order? And your arguments in support, meaning why do you think your proposals are best for your children, best for you, best for fairness. This is your opportunity to be clear about what you want and also why. So topically, we start with temporary restraining orders. There are many types. These mutual restraints on insurance and purchase are now becoming, well, they already are in Snohomish County. An automatic temporary restraining order is imposed once a petition is filed. King County is actually going to be starting that again in 2019, or not again, they're going to be repeating or copying Snohomish County in that regard. Not all the same, but this typical restraint on insurance and purchase dissipation, sort of a freeze on finances, is fairly common. You would then insert any other restraints that you might want. Temporary parenting plan, we just simply point out here that there is this thing called, what used to be called Declaration in Support of Temporary Parenting Plan, what was Pattern Form 040120. It's required by this statute here, Section 194. It's now called Information for Parenting Plan, and it's Family Law Form 139. We'll make that change in the template, but that's what you're going to be working on here. And you're going to be filing a proposed parenting plan on the parenting plan form. And we'll be working with you. If you have a parenting plan, you have children, you need that to be an issue, then we'll be working with you on that. Temporary child support, that's primarily going to be drafted by us. We're going to get pay stubs and tax returns and other information from you that are required by local rules, both in Snohomish County and King County. And then we'll put together the worksheets and describe those for you. Temporary spousal maintenance does not occur in every case, but if that's an issue, then we want to cover it. And then finally, temporary property and debt distribution. Of course, if it's parentage action or other non-parental custody or things like that are domestic cases, it's not pertinent. But in divorce cases, it certainly is. Who gets to drive which car? Who gets access to which bank account? Who gets to stay in the family home and has to vacate? These are all important decisions that get made early on in a case. We use a statement of assets and liabilities, which is a spreadsheet to list all the property and debts. Many lawyers and judges don't do that, but we believe that it's good to start right off the bat with doing an inventory, at least of the most important and critical things. And then we place values in those. That'll be described in another video about how to use the statement of assets and liabilities. Finally, temporary fees and costs, and that's based on need and ability. So if one spouse is particularly wealthy and the other isn't, then there's a chance that the wealthy spouse will be made to pay some or all of the poor spouse's attorney's fees. And of course, anytime you have questions, we would encourage you to write them in the margin. You can also right-click and insert a comment. The comments will show up here, and so you could add your question there, post it, and there's a little comment, and we'll see that, and then we can come along and reply to those. So even if you can't get hold of us, you can leave questions or comments, and then we can reply and continue to work towards finalizing. I hope this has been helpful to you. Oh, one last thing. You don't have to save it. It will save if you're in the browser. It will save automatically. And so all you need to do when you're done working on it is just simply close the tab that you're working on, or click back button and till you get back to, well, here I think it is going to be closing the tab and then getting back to the tab that has your pleadings. Thank you for watching.